Welcome, everybody. Welcome once again to New York. Welcome to the HTL Hammer Down Truck Series here on AVN Esports 1. It's time for a race in New York, the HTL New York 150, 61 laps of racing tonight. A part of our Seneca Lake Week here on AVN. On the road to the AVN Champ Car World Series race tomorrow night. It's truck racing, 61 laps. It's going to be a long race for these truck drivers compared to what they're used to. But it's going to be a lot of fun as a result. Caution-free from start to finish is how we're going to have it here tonight. And we kick things off with qualifying. Qualifying underway here tonight as everything gets ready to go. See if we can grab one of the drivers that came out on track first. One of the drivers that came out on track first is Truck 34, Bobby Blowers. Blowers leading the field into qualifying here. Looking at a healthy truck field. We had 25 cars last night. We'll have a comparable number here tonight. A little bit latency there for Blowers. Car that actually might take the green flag early is Jonathan Adams. There he is. He'll actually be the first one to start a lap here. 10 minutes of qualifying. It's solo qualifying. Everyone's got the track to themselves for their laps, so there's no impediment. There's no worry about slipstream or anything like that. Jonathan Adams will kick us off here, but a lot of drivers now on their lap. So let's see what they can put together here around this 2.45 mile road course. Show you where Jonathan Adams is at right now on track, approaching the bus stop, the inner loop. This double chicane on the back straightaway towards the carousel. Nice and tidy. A lot of differences between the 7th gen cars we saw last night in the HTL Cup Series and these trucks, but one thing that's not different is the lap times. Very comparable lap times. 72 seconds in Cup Series competition, 74 seconds here tonight. A lap time here about 1 minute 12 to 1 minute 14 is what we're looking at here tonight. Let's see what Jonathan Adams put together. He is going to be the first one to set a lap time. He's going to be our benchmark. How long does that benchmark last? Adams across the line. 1:13.283. Immediately beaten by Pacey Wygent. Sharp goes third fastest as drivers begin to set times across the board. Driver just now starting, really going into the back half of the lap. Mark Parkhurst in the 42. See where Parkhurst's lap goes. 9 drivers at lap time so far in this session. More coming in. Parkhurst 1:14.183. Puts him on the board there. Sienna Thompson just now going out on her lap. Sienna Thompson rolling around the track now. This is Sienna Thompson beginning her lap. Other trucks on track include Lilac Sierra and Tristan Bear. 13 drivers to lap time so far. Pacey Wygent top of the board. Wygent with a 1:13.15. Thompson through the carousel here. Qualifying half over. Several trucks on track now. Blake Henderson's joined the track. Waiting to see Eli Sasick and Tristan Bayer making a run here for qualifying. See what Sienna Thompson can do. Overall, pretty tidy lap. We'll see how it goes for Thompson. Across the line, the number 20. 114.446, excuse me. Enough for 10th fastest. Lilac Zier. 50 truck on track now. A little bit of a counter steer there for Zier. Rolling through the corner. Could be a decent lap for Zier. Very on the edge. 4 truck 50. Henderson, Mongold all on track. What does Lilac Zier have? A 113.633. That's enough for top 4 as things currently stand. Blake Henderson just now on his lap. Watkins truck 25 due last night was not the greatest night for Henderson. But, as I mentioned, these trucks are a lot different in how they feel compared to the 7th gen cars we saw last night. Does that pay dividends for Henderson? Does that give him a little bit more feeling, a little bit more feedback? Something that drivers crave so often on these road courses. Very tidy lap there through the bus stop. Keeps it pretty well planted there on the curbing there through the carousel. Doesn't run out super wide. Keeps it tidy. Could almost argue too tidy on that lap. Will help Henderson get closer to the front of the field. One corner to go. Henderson in the run to the line. What does this lap time place him? Across the line, a 116.456, bottom of the board. Not the lap that he was hoping for. Tristan Bayer running on track now. Tristan Bayer on track, beginning his run now, the lowest rated driver on road courses, and he immediately throws his lap away out wide. It will not count. Austin Mongold, I believe his lap invalidated as well. So he is right now in the process of just running extra practice laps here. Oh, it did count for Mongold. 15th fastest, 115.629 for Mongold. It was enough. Very interesting there for Austin Mongold. Lilac Zier also on track still. This is Zier running through the line once again. Again, Zier's lap time is set, 114.591. Enough for 4th. And she will run out the timer. Getting some extra practice in. Down the back straightaway with 39 seconds to go and counting. Showtime from New York coming here very shortly. Checkered flag comes out here in qualifying. And we will immediately transition into the race. This is going to be an interesting turn of events. Let's see how it all shakes out here tonight. Front row, it's Pacey Wygent and Jonathan Adams. They'll be at the front of the field for tonight's race. The first row of what will be 13 rows, 25 trucks, the same exact number of entries that we saw last night in the Cup Series. We see again tonight as everyone gets ready to go here in New York. There's Pacey Wygent, front and center at the front of the field behind the pace car. He'll lead us to green. Row 2 is Elizabeth Peltier Sharp and Lilac Zier. They'll be in row 2. Row 3 is Bobby Flowers and Byron Jones. Row 4, Mark Parkhurst and Caleb Carter. Row 5, rounding out the top 10, Patrick Oberstadt and Callie Height. Callie Height almost had a top 5 finish last night in the Cup Series. Can she do even better here tonight? She's got to go up at least 5 positions to do so tonight in that 3 truck. Row 6, top 12, Selena Thompson and Martin Roberg. Then you have Dean Clavitt and Lily Frazier. Austin Mongold and Richard Odie round out the top 16. 17th and 18th, Blake Henderson and Eli Sasick. Row 10, top 20, Alfred Denny and Chris Pendell. James Wright and Zach McBride in row 11. Then it's Casey Ellis and Michael Saccone in row 12. Row 13, the row by himself, Tristan Bayer. Starting at the very bottom of the field, only way forward is up. Getting a good look as everyone is gridded up and ready to go. And the formation lap begins. Again, Pacey Wygent on pole. And what a shakeup it has been the last 7 days in the HTL Truck Series. John Hagan swept both races at Chicagoland last week. Ended up sustaining a suspension for the remainder of the season for off-track conduct, which throws this championship wide open. Now it's between Wygent and Adams and Zier and Sharp at the front of the field. While we're on this formation lap, we'll walk through it. Let's walk through all of this real quick. Let's see if we can get you a rundown through the points. Points at the Chicagoland as we run through the bus stop are incoming here. Obviously waiting for the model load on our end as well. Pacey Wygent comes in with the generalized lead there with Byron Jones, Austin Mongold, Lily Frazier top 4 in this process. Dean Clavitt, Jonathan Adams, Mark Parkhurst, Chris Pendell, and Patrick Oberstadt the top 10. Obviously some drivers negatively affected in a big way from Scott Poznanski's actions at Chicagoland at the beginning of last week's race. They've got 4 races now to try to fix that damage if they want a chance at a championship. So it's drama at both ends of the chase. Wygent stands pretty well clear at the moment. It's Byron Jones that has to try to stop him, or someone else has to play spoiler. As they come out of turn number 7, the pace car pulls off, and the green flag is out. The New York 150 is underway. A little bit of drama. Everyone gets through turns 1 and 2 cleanly. And now we go up the hill. Keep an eye a little bit further back. an eye on things right now as we stand. It is drama all the way throughout. Henderson just missed the bus stop. And that was trouble. I think Martin Roberg spun around. It is Roberg spun around. But overall, he gets things back rolling once again, but he'll be down in the 25th position. Trouble for Austin Mongold, who's also spun around. This is on the exit of the carousel. Everyone looking for real estate here on the opening lap, but it will be Pacey Whiten that leads us through lap number 1. Adams sends it to the outside of turn 1. Whiten covers off the inside lane. And up the hill they go again through the S's. "61 laps tonight. It was 70 last night. So these drivers have a bit of a marathon, a little bit of endurance needed to run these trucks here at Watkins Glen. 61 laps for 150 miles is what's on tap. Well, I'll take a second here and see what happened on this opening lap. Things have calmed down a little bit. We'll start here with the cut here into the bus stop, which I think kind of contributed to what happened to Martin Roberg. Yeah, he just misses it completely. And Roberg's actually behind this. Not sure what happened there to Roberg. Looks like he just kind of wheel hops it. Oh yeah, he just kind of gets it on his own. Clips Dean Clavitt. So that's what happened to Dean. Dean was able to keep it off the wall there. Both of them were able to keep going. Austin Mongold a little bit further ahead. Just loops it. And noses it into the wall there. And then a little bit further on in the laps, this is Zach McBride into turn 1. And he goes all the way to the wall on pit lane. Oh, there was an issue for Zach McBride. Wow. That was called early by McBride. He tried to get out of the way to try to figure out what was wrong, but he showed that sign early. What happened to James Wright here as well? We'll look further back. This is James Wright in the 46. And he gets out of the way pretty quickly, trying to get away from all of that. Oh, and then he loops it. And Zach McBride has since returned to pit lane. So we're back live. Live pictures here. As YG continues to try to hold off Jonathan Adams. Several differences in how this race is going to operate. Last night's race we had 3 stages, 2-stage breaks. Not tonight. From start to finish, it is a 61 lap endeavor. No significant chance of getting bailed out from any unfortunate circumstances in this race. You have to take it on the chin and really just face it. Wygent with a really good advantage out of the carousel over Adams, and then Lilac Sear sitting in third. Sear in third, Lily Peltier Sharp in fourth. Driving the number 36 machine. Tale of two lilies, both in the top 10. Peltier Sharp in the 36. That Vodafone Toyota sitting in the 4th position. Not a bad effort so far for Peltier Sharp. Back on track for the first time since recovering from eye surgery. Glad to see her back on track. Her teammate a little bit further down, Lily Frazier, sitting in the 10th position. Just behind Selena Thompson and ahead of Patrick Oberstadt. In the middle, you see some of the contenders for the championship. There is Byron Jones, his teammate, leads the way. Jones sits in the 5th position, top 5, ahead of Bobby Blowers, who sits in the 34 car in 6th and runs wide through the carousel. Callie Height in 7th, defending from Mark Parkers. We'll see both of them on track tomorrow. And Thompson goes off. And that front end's caved in. Contact was made with the Armco. That is the exit of the carousel, turn 5. And that moves Patrick Oberstadt into the top 10. Truck 88 ahead of Blake Anderson, who's himself ahead of Caleb Carter. Wygant still leading Adams, Zier, and Sharp. Top 3 still in a bundle. Through 6 laps. Again, it's Wygant, Adams, and Zier, top 3. And they are all this close. It is a tight fight. But they're still holding their own ground. They're still pulling away from Peltier Sharp. They're in the 4th position. Trouble further behind. Tristan Bear and Austin Mongold. That's in the carousel. And they're still in the way here. What has happened to Bear and Mongold? This is through the bus stop. They're racing for position here. Oh, and Mongold just kind of drives into him. And they both go around, and Mongol spins the outside way. Both of them get pointed in the right direction pretty quickly, but that could have been a lot worse. And oh, trouble for Tristan Bear. This is at pit entry. So Bear coming down pit lane. Wygant still leads, has opened up a little bit of a gap, 0.8 the gap now, over Jonathan Adams and Lilac Zier. Into the corner we go now. There is Wygant in the 00. Adams and Zier top 3, Peltier Sharp in 4th, Byron Jones in 5th. Then it's a 4-car conglomerate here with Blowers, Height, Parkhurst, and Frazier. Trouble for Caleb Carter. That is exit of turn 1. He does get a point in the right direction again as Sassa comes up on him. Richard Odie sitting in the 78 machine. In 18th position, Mongold in 19th, Saccone and Wright round out the top 21. All of them still running on track. James Wright just had an issue of his own. Also in the exit of turn 1. Problem spot for some trucks. And actually, that is the leaders coming up. You can hear them. Race of attrition. We didn't see a lot of the attrition until stage 3 last night. We're seeing it up and early here tonight. Wygant leads the way. 21 cars still running on track at the moment, and all of them on the lead lap, but James Wright about to be the first car 1 lap down. Adam, Zier, Sharp, Jones, Blowers top 6 behind Wygant. And again, it is, in all considerate honesty, it is a 5-horse race at the front. The top 5 have broken away from Bobby Blowers by a substantial enough margin. It is 8 seconds from Blowers to Wygen. And several of these drivers in this group will be present tomorrow night for the Champ Car race here at Watkins Glen. In fact, I believe all 4 of them will be. Blowers and Frazier for Orlando Outlaws, Callie Hyatt for Valfreya Motorsports, and Parkhurst for Premier Racing Club. All 4 of them will be present. All things be told, 7 of the top 10 will be present tomorrow night as well. So a lot of drivers getting used to the attrition. Obviously tomorrow's race is going to be a lot quicker pace, 56-second lap times here compared to the 74 we're seeing right now. Got to be a lightning quick event tomorrow. Callie trying to find a way around Blowers. Blowers defends the inside. They're going into the bus stop. Callie clips the grass there through the bus stop, and there comes Parkhurst and Frazier. And that gives Blowers some breathing room. Sharp and Jones battling for it here. Sharp trying to defend there from Jones. Jones trying to go with the over-under, but Sharp pretty well had it covered off there on the exit. And here comes the race down the start-finish line. Does Jones try to late break? He does not. LTA Sharp in 4th, Jones in 5th, still in this battle for 4th place, and Sharp holding up Jones and keeping him away from trying to challenge for this top 3. Washington's lead here. We have crossed lap 11 of 61 off the board. We're on lap 12 now. Wygen has led every lap so far. But it's still a hotly contested battle for the race lead. It just 3 drivers really good at this sort of craft. Wygen has the ability to really open this up on his own. Whoa, a little bit further back. That was Byron Jones getting a little bit slideways. I think Byron Jones is losing his patience with Peltier Sharp here in this battle for the 4th position. Across the line we go. Lap 13 of 61. The race simmered down just a little bit. A little bit further back, Mark Parkhurst has gotten around Callie Hyatt. Callie Hyatt, who's checked up Frazier a little bit, down in the 8th position now. And then this interesting battle here between Clavitt and Henderson. Just outside the top 10. This is for 11th place. Clavitt and Henderson. Issue between these two. Henderson defends the inside lane. Really just trying to break the draft there from Clavitt. Clavitt a lot more comfortable on the brakes though. You can see that through turn one. A little bit of damage on Clavitt's 56, and we're going to make contact there with Austin Mongold on the opening lap. He is right there on the bumper of Henderson. And not far behind is Martin Roberg. Side by side for 11th. Again, Clavitt late on the brakes. A little bit of contact between the two. But Clavitt makes his way through. Pit stops underway. Lap 16 of 61. First pit stops on the way. Jonathan Adams, Lee Pelletier, Sharp, Bobby Blowers, Parker, Frazier, and Oberstadt. Most of the top 10 is in. Wygen and Zier right up to each other too. Wygen stays out, Zier comes in, so it's teammates out now front of the field on this pit run. Kelly Height stays out an extra lap as well. In third, has to make a pit stop here at some point, as does Wygen and Jones. The gap between Wygen and Jones is about 7 seconds. Byron Jones stays out. And Callie Height comes in. So Jones gets to lead a lap. Here comes Clavitt and Henderson. And Clavitt's really left Henderson. And Clavett's going to come down pit lane as well. Has to get low down to 40 miles an hour. Henderson stays out. This is where it gets interesting because here comes Zier. Run down the front straightaway. Zier's going to pass Wygant. As off track goes McBride. So Zier now should inherit the race lead over Pacey Wygant, but it's not by much. Jonathan Adams still in range as well, 1.2 seconds away from Wygant, who's got to warm those tires up. So Zier's got a chance to really make something happen here. Zier's not in the playoffs. That should be mentioned there. Zier is a part-time driver in the Truck Series. Surtees is parlaying this into her championship ambition campaign in the Cup Series on Mondays. Right now, Zier looking for a potential race win as things stand. Henderson comes down pit lane. Byron Jones in pit lane as well. So Zier will officially take the race lead here. And that Watkins Glen pit lane is excruciating. 40 miles an hour. With it being downhill too. Easy to speed in. Wygant could not walk away from Zier or Adams in that first stanza. As we approach the 1/3 mark in this race, now it's Zier who has the advantage over Wygant. As the racing persists here. We're approaching lap 20 of 61. End of lap 20 is the end of the first third of this race. Again, no stages in this race. So as things have really settled in, we're looking at a 3 pit stop race here in this race. That is the strategy, 3 pit stops. Jonathan Adams sitting in third, a little bit further back, 2.2 seconds off of Zier and Wygant. Sharp in fourth, and it's Byron Jones, a very distant fifth. Did not have a very quick pit stop. Flowers sixth, Parkhurst seventh, Frazier, Height, and Clavett the top 10. A little bit of trouble. Caleb Carter just ahead. No, that's Caleb Carter all the way in the back there in 19th. I believe it was Alfred Denny that had issues. It was Alfred Denny because there's Zier coming out of the final corner now. We're coming out of turn 5 now. Zier across the line here. Again, in the race lead. Right on board with Wygant. 16 laps led so far for Wygant. Only 2 leaders in this race so far that have led more than a single lap, and that's Wygant and Zier. Right on board with Wygant through the bus stop. Looking back at Wygant from Zier's truck. Right beside the driver. And this is right now the closest battle on the track. It happens to be for the race lead. One-third of the way through this race. It is Zier, Wygant, and Jonathan Adams. 15 trucks on the lead lap as it stands right now. Zier at this point just keeping Wygant at bay. Wygant not stressing things out too awful hard here. As much as he would love to get that race lead back, he is in a comfortable position. Again, his main adversaries in the championship are not close to him. You gotta be a tactician at this point. If you're Wygant, you have to think about risk versus reward at this stanza of the race. There's not a lot of reward in it. If you try to get around Zier and you make a mistake and you throw the truck away, there's a real chance here for Wygant, in the position he's in right now, knowing where everyone else is at right now, to really give himself a really firm hand on the championship trophy with 3 races to go as Adams goes around. Trouble for Jonathan Adams in the 83. Sharp will go by for third. Adams struggling now. That was a wild spin in turn 1. What happened to Jonathan Adams in this corner? We're going to get a really good look here going into turn 1. Oh, he wheel hops it big time there under braking. Big time mistake there, and he just overcooks those tires, and now he's in front of Byron Jones, who's going to have a really good run on him there out of the carousel towards turn 6. Jones thinks better of it. Not a bad look so far. To Adams. Triumphed it from the over-under that Byron Jones have almost put him under. And again he spins. Oh, this is trouble. Adams in significant trouble now. Those rear tires are cooked. Huge trouble for Jonathan Adams as he crawls back on track after another spin in turn 1. You want to talk about tires being cooked. If they weren't before, they are now. Zier leads the way. A little bit of slipping and sliding around for Zier and Wygant. Zier leads the way. Wygant now trying to battle and press forward for that race lead. They'll go side by side out of the carousel. Zier's got the inside lane. And Wygant can't really dispute that too awful much here. Trying to over-under. This is where you can make things happen if you want it. And that's exactly what Wygen's going to do out of the final corner. Side by side they go down the front straightaway. And Wygen leads at the line. Still side by side. Up the hill. Zier has to relent and give that position up. Wygen finally made a move for that race lead to get it back. And into the corner we go. A little bit further back, a little bit of a battle here between Dean Clavitt and Eli Sasek. Up the hill we go. This is a battle for the 9th position. That's where Clavitt's at right now. Sasek in 10th. Sasek gonna try to make a move there with Clavitt for that 9th spot, and he gets it. Pretty safe and sound on that Peltier Sharp. 10 seconds off this lead battle. About a second and change ahead of Byron Jones. Dean Clavitt in pit lane. Interesting for Dean Clavitt. Very interesting for Clavitt. Very well off sequence there for the 56 truck. He will go lap down to the leaders. There's Clavitt leading pit lane now. See Wygen and Zier right there. Again, Zier right there sticking with Wygen. Not really giving Wygen a chance to breathe. Wygen more composed there through the carousel, but that's not unusual for Wygen, as we've seen so far in this race. Wygen and Zier again, it's still really close, and so is it between Sharp and Jones once more up the hill. Jones looking for potential podium at the moment. Jonathan Adams out of the way. Again, Byron Jones being super patient with Peltier Sharp here. Here comes Jones. A battle for the third. A chance for third for Byron Jones. Into turn 6. He's got it. And he keeps Peltier Sharp from getting the over-under. And Peltier Sharp drifts it out really wide. Was trying to force the issue and couldn't. Jones up to third and now clear with an opportunity. Further back, battle outside the top 10. Once again, this is 4/10 between Henderson, Pindell, and Oberstadt. Pindell in the 94, Henderson in the 25, Oberstadt in the 88. Keep an eye on this battle. There's battles all across the track here at the moment. This three truck battle. 4/10 is the largest on track at the moment. Henderson's got the position, but it could very well change. Pindell got a little loose there out of the carousel. Henderson, we used up a lot of tarmac there on the exit of the carousel. Everyone running different lines there on the exit. Trucks in pit lane, Blowers and Sasek. I believe Frazier just now coming out of pit lane as well. Yeah, that is Frazier coming out of pit lane. Sear just now entering pit lane with Wygant now in free air. Again, Dean Clavitt, the first truck, 1 lap down. Clavitt now in the 12th spot as pit stops begin the cycle through once more. We've crossed the halfway point in this race. The pit stop's coming here very soon. We know there's at least one more stop in this race. Mark Parker's on pit lane. It was a wide pit window on the first stop. I'm assuming it's going to narrow up a little bit here. Here comes Wygant. Byron Jones, 15 seconds adrift. Does Jones come in this time, or does he stay out the extra lap like what he did last time? The answer to that question is he'll stay out. Byron Jones first takes the lead from Pacey Wygant here. Likewise, a little bit further back, Lilac Zier's gotten around Cali Height. How sprout has everyone been? Zier just got around Cali Height, and Cali Height's not pit for the second time yet. And again, there's Zier ahead of Wygant. Once again, that undercut, very helpful. And now Wygant's got to get those tires up to temperature once more with a 3 car behind. This is what will be for the race lead once Byron Jones comes down pit lane. Big time moves there for Zier once more. Jones stays out another lap. Really committed to that overcut. And at this point, why not? He was on an island on his own. May as well try something different. Mongold runs wide to let the leaders go through. Up ahead of them next is Patrick Oberstadt, who just came out of pit lane. Lap traffic becoming more and more of an effort to get around here. Zier goes to the inside of Oberstadt. Oberstadt does not fight and lets Wygent go as well. Again, a lot of good play from the back markers here as they try to let people go, and not really even back markers. Oberstadt's bound for 10th. That's just how quick these leaders have been. Oberstadt's no slouch in these trucks. We've seen that in ARCs. We see it here in HTL. Patrick Oberstadt's a really good driver in these trucks. It's just that there's some road course drivers that are absolutely sublime right now. But still, good etiquette across the board. Callie Height comes in. And that'll be a 4th place position relinquished by Callie Height on that pit stop. This is provisionally for the race lead. Byron Jones still leads the way on track. He has still not come down pit lane. Wygent on the outside, up the S's, trying to force the issue, being a little bit more brave about it, and makes it stick. Did not wait nearly as long as he did last time. Again, they're shipping up heaps of time off of Byron Jones, who's got to be coming down pit lane imminently. Stayed out another lap. Zier and Wygent continue the battle off. Byron Jones continues to lead this race. Looking back here, it seems like there's an incident that happened a few laps ago. Looks like 3 laps ago. Let's see what happened here. This is with Henderson. It looks like Blowers and Roberg. And we'll have to go back here into turn 1. Really good view from up above. Henderson in the 25, Blowers in the 34. This is up the hill. Oh. That's a hip check from Blowers. And that's both trucks done. That's a violent impact. Let's look at it from Henderson's perspective. Ooh. front of the field. Watkins and Zier continue to lead the way on lap 37. So you're trying to hold on to Watkins here. Watkins leads over Zier. Another close battle. This is again in just outside the top 5. This is between Mark Parkhurst and Lily Frazier. Parkhurst in the 42, Frazier in the 71. Again, just outside the top 5 here. This is about a 4/5. Zier sitting just Frazier sitting just outside the top 5. Parkhurst the gateway to it. So let's run through the field. See what we can pick up here. Here's Pacey Watkins in the lead of this race. He's led the most laps so far. He's about 5 away from leading the most laps guaranteed. Started this race in the first position. Has not been any lower really than 3rd. His fastest lap, a 1:13.417. Not a bad effort so far here tonight by Watkins. A little for the back. 6 laps led for Lilac Zier. Not far off the fastest lap either. 1:13.5. Zier started in 4th. Has not been any lower than 5th. Really good night so far for Zier. Peltier sharp in 3rd. Peltier sharp an even faster lap than Zier, 1:13.4, but just hasn't had that consistency in that 36 truck. And tags the wall there. Started 3rd, sits 3rd, but under fire once again from Byron Jones. Byron Jones a little bit further back. 6 laps led for him. Same amount as Zier. Started in 6th, up to 4th, and battling for 3rd. And they're side by side here through turn 6 into 7. Whoa! Contact there on the exit of 7. And Byron Jones holds on to it and takes 3rd place away. That was close. A little further down in the order, Mark Parkhurst in 5th. 1:13.4 for Parkhurst. A really good fast lap. Again, consistency's been the issue, though. Getting those tires to go the full run. Halfway through this this next to last stanza. Pit stops going about 17 to 20 laps. Usually close to the 17 lap range there. Parkhurst on lap 9 of this stint. Lee Frazier a little bit further back, started this race in 14th position, all the way up into 6th. Not a bad effort for the Orlando Outlaws driver. Racing in this series, I believe, for Capital Esports. Ten laps into the stint for Frazier as he tries to chase down Parkhurst a little bit further back. Driver that is earned himself the ire of a couple drivers, including a teammate. Bobby Blowers in 7th at the moment. Started this race in 5th, has fallen backwards a little bit. Has not been higher than where he started. It's been as low as 11th place in this race during pit stop sequences. Sitting right now, kind of sort of on an island, 2.8 ahead of Cali Height. Cali Height sitting in the 8th position, started this race in 10th. So technically up from where she started. And one of the last ones to come down pit lane, importantly enough. Height sitting in the 8th position ahead of Eli Sasek. Sasek a little further behind in the 9th position. Started this race all the way near the back of the field in the 18th spot. Has gained 9 spots. But this is the highest he's been. He does have one of the fastest laps in the race so far, 1:13.3. He sits just ahead of Dean Clavitt. Although, admittedly, by about 9 seconds, Dean Clavitt is behind Sasek there. Clavitt started in 13th. Has been as high as 6th, has been as low as 23rd. That was on the opening lap. Pit stop underway there. I believe that's a 28 of McBride coming out of pit lane. It is the 28 of McBride. Taking 21st, just trying to gain some laps here. Had to get repairs done after having a technical issue that caused his brakes to go away. And talk about having a panic episode there. McBride outrunning once again, just trying to gather some more positions here. Michael Saccone out of this race. Alfred Denny on pit lane. Jonathan Adams on pit lane. So a good chance to gain some time here if McBride can keep the struck going. And it looks like that might be an issue for McBride. A little bit further back. He's going to stop in the bus stop. So whatever it is, I don't think it is fully resolved. In 11th position, Patrick Overstat. Not much of a road course ringer. Started this race in 9th, though, and has not left that place too awful much. Has been as low as 15th, but has also been as high as 9th. A little further back, just right there, Chris Pendell, the Aberdeen, Ohio native, sitting in the 12th position. Started this race in 20th, up 8 spots. Starting in the back of the field and has not looked back. Trying to get over what was a very poor race last time out of Chicagoland. And so far he's doing so. Playoff driver now with nothing to lose. And then the first truck one lap down, Austin Mongold in 13th. Just came out of pit lane. Started 15th, up 2 spots, but has been as low as 24th. He's had a very up and down race. Richard Odie in 14th. Started 16th, up to 14th. Has been as low as 19th place, but again, sitting calm and collected in that 78 truck here tonight. A little bit further back is where you'll find Martin Roberg. Roberg back out and running, but significantly impacted by the incident with Henderson and Blowers. Blake Henderson's race is over. And we've already kind of covered some of the DNFs here in this race. Still a close fight between Parkhurst and Fraser, between Blowers and Height especially, and between the top two, Wygen and Zier. With a little bit of room to go. On this battle here for position. Blowers comes in. Money stops coming in. That means the leader is going to be making a decision here very soon, with coming to 15 laps to go. Here it comes. Wygen and Zier. Do they cover each other off? Zier's been doing the undercut and it's worked so far. Does Wygen try to cover it off? Or does Zier continue to do the undercut here? Yeah, Zier's doing the undercut. Wygen stays out. Money stops. This is important. Byron Jones dealing with lap traffic. He's going to get through all of it. Parker's looking for the back, and now the battles have really sort of split like the Red Sea. And they will meet up again, and it will be a very tense final stanza of this race. With 15 laps to go. Byron Jones in. Parkhurst is in. Callie Height, does she stay out? She does. Strategy coming into the front of the field. Zier already out of pit lane, though. Callie Height will not touch Zier this time. Very important, but now she's got to manage some lap traffic, including her teammate, Zach McBride. McBride on track. Should not be an obstacle. McBride will actually go off track here to let Zier through. Sharp and Jones side by side up the hill through the S's. Sharp's got third again. And they continue to battle it out. Battles throughout the field. It's how it's been all race long. It's how this race is expected to finish. We're going to see some elbows out driving across these next 13 laps. Wygen in pit lane now and in his box. Out of his box now, but Zier's got the race lead, and by a healthy margin. Zier goes through past Mongold. This is the largest gap Zier's had in this race. Wygen's got to get those tires up to speed, and he will not have slipstream to make it happen. He's got to chase down Zier now. Liver for the back, still Sharp and Jones battling for position. Callie Height has not yet come to pit lane, so this is a battle for third. Sharp has the position. She has the advantage over Byron Jones. Can she hold on to it? These two have been back and forth all race long. It's coast to coast versus Capital Esports, and Sharp is wheeling it in that 36. You want to use sports analogies, this is the championship rounds here at Watkins Glen. If you want to talk about these laps, they're going to mean so much to some drivers. For some, it's a chance to keep their championship hopes alive. For others, a chance to play spoiler and be the ultimate underdog. Sharp looking to be a spoiler tonight, as is Lilac Zier. Gap is 7/10 at the front. On your screen, the gap's less than 2. Jones looks for the over-under. Doesn't make it happen. Peltier Sharp, wiser to it. But now it's the run down the home straightaway. Peltier Sharp feigns to the middle, but decides to keep a hold of that primary racing line. Byron Jones letting Peltier Sharp really outdrive herself there. Burn up those right rear tires. And up the hill they go once again. Wygent struggling. Back now over a second, the gap at front. Parkhurst, best lap for himself in this race, 113.46. Zero just at a 113.1. Wygent a 113.3. So the gap is there. Callie Height struggling. Will end up having to come down pit lane and relinquish that third spot. A 115.03. Almost 2 seconds slower. Zero across the line. Fastest lap of the race as here comes Byron Jones on Peltier Sharp through turn 6. And they make contact and around goes Byron Jones. You wondered when it was going to go sour, and here it is. Jones was trying for that podium. Peltier Sharp gave just enough space, but no more. Jones needed just a little bit more space to make that corner on the apex, and it just wasn't there. And unfortunately for Jones, he bit the worst of it. There's 12 laps to go, and it's 5.4 the gap between Jones and Peltier Sharp now. Unfortunately, here comes Mark Parkhurst to sort of say something about that. And Byron Jones' race has become one of damage limitation versus optimism. Here comes Parkhurst. Good run so far by car 42. In the 6th position, looking for a potential top 5 when Callie Height comes down pit lane. Zier in control of this race with 11 laps to go. It's Wygent behind by 1.2 seconds. Lower for the back. Teammates 7th and 8th about to be battling for position. Frazier and Blowers. They come to 11 to go. Blowers loses a little bit of time and momentum there. Here comes Jones and Parkhurst once again through turn 1. Byron Jones again just trying to defend this 5th position, which should become 4th in a couple laps when Callie Height does make that inevitable pit stop. Callie Height last pit on lap 34, cannot make it all the way here. Jones and Parkhurst again close. What will eventually become a battle for 4th. Again, for Jones, it's what could have been. Had a podium fingertips away. Callie Height in pit lane now, so everyone at least in the top 5 will move up 1 spot. Callie Height should, I think, come out behind Blowers and ahead of Sasek, if I have my math correct on that. I probably don't, but I'll estimate it. Height in. And we'll lose a spot to Sharp. Lap traffic gets out of the way for both Parkhurst and Jones. Callie Height out of pit lane already. This is going to be close, but yeah, Parkhurst, Frazier, Blowers will all get out of Height here. Ooh, close. Actually, this could be very close. Callie Height will stay side by side. I don't think she took tires. No, she didn't. Fuel only for Height. Talk about trying to shoot that undercut, or that overcut, in this case for Height. Caught her shot, and right now looking at 6th place. Right there, not far away from Parkhurst and Jones as well. So if things go wrong, Height still got a shot. You want to talk about having a shot? Wygent's tires have fired up. Lead battle within 3/10. Battles all over the track, as we mentioned before. Battles for 1st, battles for 4th, battles for 6th. All across the track here. This is for the lead. Sears got it, Wygent wants it. And so far we've seen that it's been a matter of time before Wygant makes his way around Zier. This feels different. Is it different enough for Zier to grab a win at the Glen? Very close fight here for the race lead. Callieite still ahead of Fraser and Blowers. We'll, again, try to cycle through this as much as we can. 3 major battles on track at the moment. 2 of them closer together than the lead. Jones and Parkhurst going at it here. Have to pivot back because this is almost a side-by-side battle up the hill. Wygant peaked. Zier covered off. It's down the back straightaway into the inner loop. Wygant peaks to the inside. Doesn't make it happen. Zier makes sure that she covers it off. But Wygant has momentum.